Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for some indie comic reviews, and for these indie comic reviews I'll be covering Speed Racer issue 4 followed by VR Troopers issue 4. I'll now get things ready and organized for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, the middle, and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we are following the character of Speed Racer as he ends up finishing his latest race. And of course there are some rivalries about to come about. Not only that, we also get to see something a little bit, we get something from Racer X as well within this story. So as we start to move towards the middle of the story, the next race begins, but of course, in this race, things go a little bit crazy. And this is by what I mean by a little bit crazy. And as this is occurring, we have Racer X also helping Speed Racer until we reach the end of the story, or the end of this issue, to which we realize that something is wrong with Speed Racer's brakes. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to go into the area of the story. And the rating of the story consists of time, location, and cast. First things first, do we get anything time-wise? The answer is no, we don't. Next is the location. Of course, we do get to see the racetrack where this is taking place at, and somewhere known as the Alpine. Last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Speed Racer, Spritle returns, Racer X also returns, and we have Black Jaguar, and there was like another group that were almost twin-like, but I don't think I got their name really clear in this, so quite likely they'll probably appear in the next issue again, or hoping to see them in the next issue again. My overall story rating for this is a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into VR Troopers issue 4. So as we move into VR Troopers issue 4, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence, it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10, as I do actually like the cover, but does it really work with the story? Not really. But let's move into the area of the art as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as we start to move in the beginning of the story, we catch up with Ryan Steele, who is also with JB. And of course they are in the VR Troopers headquarters, and to those who remember the last issue, he ended up getting a reunion of sorts with his mother. And this is sort of like continuing from there, and we're getting to see some of the things that take place, but also her side of the story. This felt more like a filler issue. Jumping towards the middle of the story, we also see some of the things that his dad was involved in, but also what she was involved in too with his work, until of course she finally leaves. For the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10, as I felt it really worked with the cover. Next is the area of the story rating, which consists of time, location, and cast. Anything time-wise? Nothing. Location-wise, mainly the VR Trooper headquarters. So it was actually nice to see this back again. The cast of characters consisting of Ryan Steele, Caitlin Starr. Didn't get to really see her in this issue, but it would have been nice to see her in this issue. She could have even brought up something conflicting with Ryan Steele's mum. It would have been nice to see her in this, even though she wasn't. Of course, JB Reese, Mrs. Steele, Carl Zichter, and Grimlaw. For my overall rating, I give it a 6 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.